Welcome back, strategy gamers. This is Victoria 3. Long awaited, long returned. Let us dive right back into our Spanish Let's Play, where we're looking to restore the Spanish Empire, the rightful place in the sun. In the last episode, we had a long drawn-out war to retake 3 provinces in northern Sco, and this was not an easy war for us, which was a little embarrassing. So now we're just going to look to... There's no employment in our coal mines here. Okay, starting to get some employment. Logging camps, shift to sawmills, already done. Already making hardwood. Livestock ranches, make more meat. Do intensive. Yep. Rice farms, go soil enriched. Livestock, do intensive. And do butchering. Coal mines, get the atmospheric pump going. Iron mines, get the atmospheric pump going. Get everything going. Can't do anything extra here. Don't have nitroglycerin yet. So we got to do a lot of stabilizing of the economy here. With everything prioritizing the more advanced production, which is currently costing us some money. So we will need to address some of our needs. So we're not going to move fishing wharfs to trawlers because we don't have a surplus of clippers. And we still have far too many subsistence farms. Building point of view, we are getting some arms industries online. There we go. There is pharmaceuticals unlocked, so we can improve our health system and potentially looking at the laws of health system. There is stock exchange, which improves our bureaucracy efficiency from trading, which is one of the ones we looked to pick up there. Now we do need to get an improvement here, and railways would be useful, but frankly that last war was embarrassing, so we need to work towards skirmish infantry, which we have. Okay, so we have the technology we need there. So I think it is a case of backfilling the... Can declare more interests. Back into the Congo. 500 days on our colonies, which frankly should have been done by now. Oh, sorry, this is expanding. So we got the first spot, and we're now looking to expand inland. We got this first spot, and we're looking to expand inland. So these need ports. They have a port. So we'll get them administrative centers, construction center, and then I think we'll be looking at coffee. Selling for 47. Bananas, selling for 22. Cotton, which makes fabric, which is one of our inputs. And so I think if we come up here, need port, then construction, then an administrative center. And then I think you are looking for coffee and tobacco. Oh, I can make tobacco at home. So make dyes, make coffee, make cotton. So that's our colonies. Fez, let's just start the process of incorporating it. It will take a gazillion years. We are continuing to run an absolute huge deficit. There is a free university in Navarro. Yes, please. Unhealthy economy. No shit, Sherlock. Wood and clippers are expensive. Portugal's obligation to us is running out. What we got here? Conspiracy and Fez. Gets rebellion, conspiracy, reprisals, mortality increases for slaves. Or petty bourgeoisie, the Catholic Church, the intelligentsia all get a boost. Yes, please. Portugal declined our request. Portugal is now obsessed with us. Yikes. Wood and clippers. Silk and tools. We need to get tools built. In the meantime, we need to import some. Yikes. And we continue to plummet downwards. Diplomatic pacts. We're about to get 10 grand back in November. But we're now shedding out 10 grand in interest. And we need another consumption tax. So services is very strong. So tobacco has to now be added. And we're now in the positive. And I'm going to run at a high tax rate for a while to pay back some of this debt. It needs to be driven down. 4 million debt. War is expensive, guys. You want short, sharper wars, and ideally wars that they just crumble in. Using 20 of 14 in Aragon, so we don't have enough infrastructure in Aragon. Which railways are a big thing that improves. Increases urbanization. Don't think it increases. So motor industries will. Yeah, so we just probably overexpanded this one. I think we're gonna have to blow up a coal mine maybe. Increase stabilizes a little bit. We don't want to decrease our wood. Yeah, we need to research railways. Togo is building its port, which is here. Where's its construction center? Here. So that should actually go ahead of that. Those two are super quick to do. Okay, so we're trying to stabilize everything a bit here. Probably bring our construction down a bit very soon. War reparations to Venezuela can no longer be maintained. Well, they shouldn't be maintained. They should have expired by now. Okay, so we don't have any diplomatic pacts. We still have interest. Our government is reasonably legitimate, reasonably strong. From an institutions point of view, we can't increase any of the institutions because we lack monies. We can get the National Guard, which would reduce our bureaucracy. Free university in Western Andalusia. Thank you very much. Per capita taxation would add 60,000. Let's get this going. We need to increase our money. We're maintaining our positive relations here. Maintaining with the Brits. Maintaining with the French. Let's improve our relations with the Qing. What's the deal with the Tuscans? They're now in an alliance with Sardinia-Piedmont, and they owe an obligation to Britain and to Sardinia-Piedmont, who both sided with them against us. Interest decreasing in the Congo. No, I wish to keep my interest in the Congo. I don't need an Italian interest anymore, so I will grab South Africa. Underused construction, okay. So I am sort of inclined to not build anything for a moment and let the economy recover. But if I look at markets, we have a fabric surplus, which doesn't sell for much. We have a wood surplus. We have a fertilizer surplus. We have a grain surplus. So we don't need our trading route on grain. So it is profitable. So textile mills, which are currently, it says they're not making money. Let's go into Fez with some, okay, still making a ton. So when we look at the things we're negative on sugar, we're negative on iron, meat, tobacco, furniture, clothes, wood. So wood is one that we can, and wood and iron are two that we know we have ample resources for. So Valencia has a productivity issue with it. El Rif doesn't. Navarro doesn't. So Navarro could also have iron and coal. You can have lead. The Balearics. Build me 2. And Galicia, build me 3. Power the purse, naval base increased, so only 4 things in the building queue. We also want to increase our iron. So we'll add 3 in Marrakesh. We'll bring Valencia up to 10. And then I think, tobacco overseas. We can go, there's not particularly big populations here. Psychological warfare. We have an affair between 2 of our generals. A general and one of our other generals' spouses. So there's a 10% chance one of the generals gets alcoholic and 90% chance gets syphilis. Just seems hilarious. Or he just gets syphilis and we lose a general. So one gets treated for syphilis and the armed forces will lose some interest group approval. But we will cover this up. There is the Bessemer product. So we can... doesn't do a huge amount for us yet, but it unlocks railways, which is absolute critical. Aragon and Puerto Rico could do with some market access improvements. Aragon doesn't have the ability to get ports. Aragon's problem, I think, is that it has too many buildings. So I need to increase its infrastructure, which requires the urban centre to be increased. Requires me to have authority to provide roads or just get railways in here. I think we're looking at railways. Clippers, iron and wood is expensive, so I've put bills in for both of those. Get your last port. Get your ports. Get your ports. And then we need to buy silk, which we'll buy from the Qing. Now we're improving our relations with Qing because I think we would like to get maybe a trade deal going. Now, we have a lot of trade with France. We're going to propose a trade agreement with them, which is going to improve the volume of our trade routes. So we'll get 1% improvement in relations, cost us 100, influence, and it should result in a balance of trade improvement, which I think our bureaucracy should improve when this goes through. Maybe not because we're using a land route. So we have 1 trade with Britain, 1 trade with Austria, with 2 trades with Russia, none with the Americans. And we have enacted a new law, per capita taxation. So just take you through this one real quick. We're currently at the very high level of taxation, so it's increased it's a shift basically from land-based to capita-based. It just shifts the kind of percentages around. Most of the factions approve it. The ones who don't are landowners who own the land, so they lose out a bit, and then trade unions just get cranky about most things. So we're down to 500,000 debt. Our interest is now just 1,000. It was 15. So I think we could look to roll back taxation and improve government wages a little bit, and this will still tick up. We could look to scrap one of our taxations services, which would allow us then to come into Aragon and spend 75 authority to improve its infrastructure, which then fixes its infrastructure issue temporarily while we wait to get railroads online, which will finish the rest of that problem. Now, we have further authority, so we could look at some of the other authority options available to us around education, qualifications. We could get services and manufacturing throughputs improved, and this is why some specialization is quite useful. One of the other options available to us down here is a spot of suppression to lower the state penalties for the turmoil. So we're currently getting a loss of some tax efficiency. With a positive on the surplus, we can look to push our colonial affairs institution, We still don't want to push education because it would improve the Catholic Church, but we can push the health system. Now, this would also improve the Catholic Church. Now, I think we do need to push law enforcement, and then we look at laws. Legal guardianship is potentially possible to be done, but it's heavily opposed. Right of assembly is possible, but it's heavily opposed. The armed forces as well as the traditionalists oppose it. We're happy with our tax change. National Guard would be prohibitive for us to afford from a bureaucracy point of view. Would help potentially in being able to generate some quick military forces if required. There is opposition, but not overwhelming opposition, to drift away from the state religion. If we went total separation, it would eliminate the religious faction. So who supports it? Intelligentsia support it. So that's one potentially to look at, bolstering the intelligentsia. And the rural folk are the main ones who oppose it. So we need to look at, and it would obviously radicalize the Catholic Church. So legacy slavery, can we shift the slavery band? So we currently get, they get 25% power from this. And we can look at slavery banned. We liberate the slaves. It's kind of mixed in support at the moment, and unlocks laws because some of the segregation ones we're not allowed to have while we allow slave. And we can look at voting, which most of these changes are heavily opposed, apart from landed voting. Now, the intelligentsia and the landowners support this, and the industrialists oppose it. We can't get the welfare census yet. This gives us extra authority, gives us extra legitimacy, and then empowers aristocrats, capitalists, clergy, officers. So I think this is the law change we're going to try and push forward. At least it's a positive in terms of the difference between those who support and oppose. So we're working on these goods. We're building a port in Puerto Rico. We have added roads in, get that port to the top. These logging camps will be pretty quick, so we'll just let them finish. Then we get the port built. There's no construction support over in Puerto Rico. Then we're looking to get a bunch of iron and a bunch of tobacco, so we probably should intersperse. The port's built. And then, oh, what happened there? Oh, there's a second page which has some ports on it. So let's get all those up. Pop these to the top. Then I want the Puerto Rico port at the top. Then Valencia, Andalusia. So then Eastern Andalusia. Just stagger those a bit. And then look to basically... Yeah, iron was a problem, wood was a problem. So 2 logs, some more down here. So eventing these logging camps need to come down a bit in priority. And then get some of this iron up in priority. There we go. And we want to be basically trying to build in different places for maximum efficiency. Okay, I think we will end the episode there. We'll continue our Spanish Let's Play in the next episode. We have stabilized our economy. We are still £500,000 in debt, but that was 2 million after the war. We have pushed through some law changes, recently brought in pro capita taxation, so the other ones to, and we're now trying to bring in landed voting, and then ideally we would like to do some on the human rights space, particularly slavery, some rights for women, but there is still a lot of vested interests opposing those that hold us back in that space. Our colonies expansion continues. Oh, the Danes are going to get into this space before us. That is quite annoying. So we've taken 2 spots here. They're going to get this one, and then we have to make a decision, and we grabbed this one ashore, and then we're pushing it to this one. might be worth if we cancel this, cancel that. Oh no, we're not giving up what we've already colonized. No. So we're going to leave the episode there and continue our Spanish Let's Play in the next episode. I think we are starting to stabilize the economy. We are down to only $500,000 in debt. We are allowing our income to ease into this with some heavy taxation of the people. We've eased back on some of those taxes and increased some of the wages. We have reduced one of our consumption taxes so we could divert that authority into road support in Aragon to restabilize its infrastructure, and we have contemplating doing some aggressive suppression of Moroccan unrest. We have our colonies are progressing, so we're continuing to push in up the Congo and the Niger. We are getting competition from the Danes, who have this colony on the coast here and are pushing inland. We got our colony here and are pushing inland, so trying to grab this space here. We no longer owe any war reparations to the Tuscans and the Venezuelans, who got British support that forced us to back down. We have done some mass constructing projects from an infrastructure point of view, getting raw materials for a working economy in place, and we will pressing forward with more of that, more wood, more iron, more ports to address our clipper problem, our wood, our iron. So we're looking at what is expensive. We've also, been looking at building. We recently in this episode we built some clothes, some furniture factories as well, where we had fabric surpluses. We had some wood surplus. We now have a wood deficit because we went into iron, and we also have ramped up our building as well. Okay, thank you for watching. I've been Garner. You've been awesome. Catch you in the next episode.